Hi Nancy, I understand you want to discuss some behaviour management strategies.
Hi Liz, yeah, that's right.
Okay, well maybe I could share something that I know to be effective.
Yeah, I suppose.
Something I use in my classroom is individual reinforcement. Are you familiar with that?
Yeah, I've used that in my own class.
Okay, well in my class I use positive and negative reinforcement for individual students. So I reward any desirable behaviour and then give penalties for misbehaviour.
That's what I do as well. It's better than punishing the whole group when only a few children are misbehaving.
Yeah, definitely. What sort of rewards do you do?
Anything really, just the ones that work best. Is always stickers or tokens.
Yeah, I use stickers too. I do a weekly roundup of each student's total amount of stickers. So certain amounts equal prizes, lunch outside during the summer, or like positive comments to parents in their logbook. I try and do positive reinforcement rather than negative, but you know, bad behaviour can't go unnoticed.
Yeah, I agree.
So what do you do to penalise bad behaviour?
Usually just logbook comments to parents again.
Yeah, me too. I think it's important though, make sure you give warnings before you get to that stage. Parents, you know, I find students usually deterred by the thought of having bad behaviour being said by their parents.
Yes, it tends to work for me.
Well, just make sure that whatever you do, you establish these right on in the year, ideally straight away, because if you start changing things mid-year, they're going to know exactly why, and it's usually really obvious what you're trying to do.
Yeah, I always plan my rewards and penalties ahead of the academic year, so they're just consistent straight away.
Okay, good idea. Make sure you follow up on any rules you establish too, so the students take them seriously, they think you're credible, and make sure you actually do give rewards and penalties that you've told them about.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Hi Nancy, I understand you want to discuss an NQT you'll be mentoring.
Hi Liz, that's right. So I have my initial meeting with her next week,
Right.
And I know that she's feeling really disengaged and actually considering quitting.
Okay, right.
So I have previously mentored NQTs in a similar situation, so I think I know what I'm doing. But I just really like to hear if you have any strategies or ideas you could recommend.
Yeah, of course. I mean, I've had a similar situation myself with a previous mentee. Like, we know the NQT is really tough, and especially if you don't feel like you've got the right support system in place. Something that I found really worked well was thinking about observing lessons, especially from high performing teachers. So they can arrange for you to go with them to observe a lesson, and then they can pick up some techniques that they want to embed in their practice.
I see, so I've actually tried that approach and actually not found it successful. So the NQT was just a little bit overwhelmed or didn't really know what they were looking for. And I think I just much prefer team teaching, so they can still have an active role in that planning and that teaching.
Yeah, I can understand that. I think that the benefit of the observations is that it gives them that time and space to reflect and consider their own practice, and also if you're going with them you can theme it to their areas of development, such as differentiation, for example. Is there anything else you've done that you found successful?
So I like to go through any previous feedback from their previous observations, using the Ofsted framework, and then just really focusing on any negative feedback and any areas they really need to work and succeeding in.
Okay, I mean, I think it's really good to use the Ofsted framework, but I think really think about how you're phrasing the negative feedback, because if someone's consistently getting negative feedback, it could be seen as quite disengaging for them. So I think, you know, maybe reframe that and think of it as, you know, areas of development, just so it has a bit more of a positive spin on it.
I guess just the only thing I would say is that obviously they use this Ofsted framework throughout their career, so do you not think it's important to use that as a basis, or?
Yeah, I definitely think it's important to use it as a basis, but you know, the idea of giving them the constructive feedback is that it enacts positive change and that they do something to help their practice going forward. So just try and think about how you frame it in a way that will, you know, make the NQT go away and make some positive change to their practice from it.
That's definitely fair enough, and something I'll definitely consider. Do you have any other ideas you could recommend?
Yeah, so something else I tried is having that consistent weekly slot booked in with your NQT. Make sure that they know I'm, you know, committed to them. I've got some protected time and space for us to discuss any issues over the last week and maybe anything that they want to think about for the week ahead.
Oh, do you think it's better to let the NQT decide when and where? So previously I've been a lot more flexible, and it's kind of been up to them to book in the time as and when needed. Just I think it really empowers them doing it this way.
Yeah, and we definitely want to empower our NQT, so I can understand why you've done that. I think your role as a mentor is to take that lead and show them that you're committed to them. So I think it is really important for you to protect that time and space. I think sometimes when you're in NQT, it can get really busy and they want to prioritise it, but they feel like they can't. So if you're leading by example and showing them they're committed, if they decide they don't need that time or they want to cut it short, then they can make that decision still.
Yeah. Okay. I totally understand your approach. I think I will carry on with my current situation just because I know that it works for my team. So just first of all, thank you so much for going through all these ideas. Okay. It's been a pleasure chatting to you and just listening to your experiences, and I just want to thank you so much for your time.
No worries, Nancy, and obviously you can please come to me all the time if you ever need anything else.
Okay,
Cheers. Thank you.